The duo we did not know we needed. Let's talk about the Smesh Bros, Darren Tills and Khamzat Chimaev. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch their relationship blossom over the past couple of months, and I thought I'd weigh in and give my general opinion on that partnership being made, because I am worried about it in some ways. I love it in other ways as well, and I thought I'd just give both sides of that coin in this video, because it's been an absolute pleasure, as I said, to watch their videos that they've been putting up on Block Asset on YouTube, or as Darren Tills would say, Block Assets on YouTube. It's an amazing YouTube channel. It's getting hundreds of thousands of views, and you can see why when you watch the video. I mean, most people might be going to the videos just to close their eyes and listen to the soundtracks and remixes that have been put together, because the music in those videos is a joy to the ears, and the visuals in those videos is a joy to the eyes as well, because these two, out of nowhere, seem like they've been friends for decades. I mean, these are two people that didn't even understand each other a couple of months ago, but saying that, I'm still not sure they understand each other now, in all honesty. I really don't, but they did not even know each other a couple of months ago, and it seemed like they were sort of setting each other up to be enemies and maybe make a potential matchup down the line at some point. But now, they're the best of friends, and I want to talk about all aspects of that relationship, because there are some real worries that Darren Tills might be softening Khamzat Chimaev a little bit, in my opinion. Now, I'm going to get into that in a second. There are some really good things to talk about as well, because, of course, they're great training partners. There's no one better to train with than a top 10 UFC middleweight. I know people call out Darren Tills for being a bum, and he's no longer a top-level fighter, but he's still very obviously, at best, a top 15 ranked UFC middleweight, which is a really good training partner to have for Khamzat Chimaev, because if you look at that gym that he's at All-Star Training, he's training with Alexander Gustafsson. He's even training with guys like Guram Kutateladze. He doesn't really have that big... He trains with Amasov and stuff, so he does travel around, but at least at All-Stars Training Center, it's really good to see Khamzat Chimaev have a guy who's at a similar build as him. You know, Khamzat Chimaev, I believe, is 6'2", probably walks around the 200-pound limit or something like that, around that area. And you've got Darren Tills, probably walks around at about 205, obviously a middleweight. He's about 6'1". They've got similar reach, similar build in general. So it's a really good training partner to have, and there's a lot of positives that can come from that. But again, I am worried that maybe this new lifestyle of the celebrity and doing donuts around everywhere and driving fast and buying all the bougie clothing and all that he's been doing, I'm worried that maybe Darren Tills is infecting Khamzat Chimaev's savage, cliff-dwelling, Chechnyan mind. His warlord mindset may be being corrupted by the Western Soyboyism of Darren Tills. And that is worrying to me, okay? And it's worrying me in the build-up to this fight, because he's looked so good so far. However, I still believe in him. I just want to bring up that it is a worry at some point when you see people having a little bit too much fun in the build-up to fights and chasing each other around and jumping in the pool and splashing each other with water and playing pool and getting involved in this cryptocurrency thing that Darren Tills got going on, that he's now tied Khamzat Chimaev in with, and now they're trading crypto back and forth on the block asset stuff and things like that. And I'm worried that maybe Chimaev have made a little bit too much sponsorship money before he's got to the top. And it worries me a little bit, it really does, because there is something that can be said about not being from the Western Hemisphere when it comes to discipline and just iron will and dedication to your craft and being massively successful in MMA. I really do believe that. And I know that I'm from the West as well, so I'm kind of putting myself down a little bit here, but there is something that can be said. When religion is involved in a society, it breeds discipline in its youth, okay? Even if you don't believe in the religion and you don't agree with the religion and whatever you want to say about the religion, you cannot deny when a society is heavily influenced by a religion, and a strict religion like Islam, it breeds that dedication and it breeds that discipline in the youth of that society as well. Okay, I know Khamzat Chimaev moved to Sweden himself, so of course he's going to get kind of swayed away, and he's not going to be like as strict-minded for his faith as like a guy like Khabib or Umar or anything like that. But there is an advantage to being from an area like that, and there is an advantage to living life in that kind of way. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we get like a video in a couple of months of Khamzat Chimaev just fucking zannied out of his mind off a perk in a fucking club somewhere in Sweden, dancing around with Darren Darren Till and he's just gone completely off the deep end and fallen to the temptations of Western society and its degeneracy, okay? I'm really worried about that. However, it's really good to watch their relationship blossom. They're great training partners for each other. I do want to mention this point at some point in the video as well. I've made the title what I've made the title to get the clicks into the video. However, we're not going to sit on that for too long in this video. I want to discuss some other things as well. Darren Till, when I watch these videos on Block Asset, they're amazing. The montages are great. The soundtracks are amazing. I want to know what the songs are for all of the remixes that they put on that channel. It's a really cool lifestyle to witness. But in the back of my mind when I'm watching this, and it's not the case with Khamzat Chimaev, it's more the case with Darren Till. And it's nothing to do with MMA really, it's more to do with just life in general. I'm looking at these videos sometimes, and I'm seeing these videos of Darren Till talking about how he's just flying around the world for months on end, training with all these different people, and he's partying, and he's doing donuts in his car, and he's playing pool with Khamzat Chimaev, and they're splashing each other with water and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, you have like fucking 4 daughters, dude. You have 4 daughters. Chimaev doesn't have kids, okay? So there's a part of it where I'm like, Chimaev doesn't have kids. He can live this lifestyle. Is that in anyone else's mind when they're watching some of these Block Asset videos? Like, hey, Darren, how about all of those kids you have, dude? You're just abandoning them? Like, really just leaving your daughters behind? Like, you left one behind in Brazil. I'm not trying to poke too much at Darren Till here before he shows up at my fucking house, but either way. Left one behind in Brazil, and that's like, you know, you can get over that. Maybe there's like a disagreement in the relationship, and sometimes those things happen. And then you have like another 2 or 3 daughters, which seems like a bit, I mean, he's clearly trying for a son. Let's be real. No one has 4 daughters by choice. Let's just be honest with ourselves here, or 3 daughters by choice. If you have 2 daughters and then you push for 3 and 4, you're looking for a son, and that's pretty obvious in my opinion. However, it's weird to see a 27, 28-year-old man that Darren Till is, which is ridiculously young. I think he actually might be 29 or something like that. Just gallivanting around the world for months on end, not coming home whatsoever at any point. And then I think he came back for UFC London, and then the next day he was at All-Star Training Center, and then the week afterwards he was in America training with Sean Strickland and stuff like that, over at like King's MMA or wherever they're training over there, like Extreme Couture maybe, I'm not too sure. But like, it's really weird to see Darren Till just acting like he doesn't have a family at home. Chimaev's like a single guy, he's a bachelor, like he can live this lifestyle, but it is like in the back of my mind when I'm watching this stuff. Hey Darren, how about you like talk to your daughters a little bit? But either way, I guess he's making the sacrifices necessary to train as hard as he possibly can and get back in the gym and like refocus himself, because if he loses his next fight, his career is probably done. I mean, he probably will fight at Bellator or BKFC. There's always that Mike Perry fight at BKFC that he could potentially have and get a bit of a paycheck for that one. I mean, that would be a spectacle they could put on at Triad Combat or something like that. So he could make good money. But in terms of performing at the highest level, if Darren Till loses his next fight, it really starts to get slim in the options department for Darren Till over where he goes next in his career. So I do understand that maybe he needs to make a couple of months of sacrifice before he can really focus back in on his family and stuff like that. But it is in the back of my mind when I'm watching this video. And I'm also worried about Chimaev veering into that Darren Till lifestyle of getting in trouble, doing the donuts. Maybe he was like that anyway, but I just don't remember anything like that when he was first coming up. I remember discipline, right back in the gym, and it's worrying, in all honesty, for all of this big attention to be happening before he's even got to the belt. You know, there's nothing better in MMA than an underlooked prospect in a division. You can look at it across the board. The people that get no respect until they put together like a 10-fight win streak, they always end up doing the best. Like Usman, this happened to. He got no respect, no attention whatsoever. Eventually he broke through and became a champion and had to earn his respect over the years of defending his belt. Then you've got guys like Arnold Allen, who's now put 9 wins in a row together in the featherweight division. You've got guys like Islam Makhachev, who's on a crazy win streak himself, and people kind of overlooked his win streak at one point, and now people are starting to pay big attention and starting to say that this guy could be a dominant champion in the future over his past couple of wins. wins. And you've got guys like Charles Oliveira as well. No one pays attention. He's just beating a bunch of unknown people that we never really hear about. And then all of a sudden he starts beating the top guys and you're like, oh my God, are we living in the Olive era? There's something to be said about not having that certain attention and popularity until you get to the top to really drive you to make sure that you get to the top. Now, I do believe that Khamzat Chimaev is going to beat Gilbert Burns. I'm just expressing some of the worries that I have. But I do love those videos they're putting out, and I do hope they keep putting out those types of videos. And I really hope that more partnerships like this are made within the UFC, because I think it's really good for each of them. They share each other's fan base. You know what I mean? They get a whole bunch of popularity. They get really good training with each other as well. I mean, they're already opening their doors to Conor McGregor coming to train at All Stars as well, because it's quite close to Ireland, let's be fair. So it would be a good gym for Conor McGregor to try out some training at. But either way, I thought I'd give my opinion on the whole situation. It's a weird one. You know, I'm not sure how I feel about it. There's like I'm enjoying the whole thing, but at the end of every video, I'm like, I'm worried a bit, you know? I'm really worried a little bit about it. That's all I'm saying. I'm worried that maybe Chimaev is being Westernified, and that's not too good for discipline. Let's be real. You see a lot of these fighters like Umar Nurmagomedov even, and some of the other fighters that are coming up, like real prospects and stuff like that. They have this real discipline, you know. Even Khamzat Chimaev, he beats Gerald Meerschaert, he gets right back in the gym. He has his complications with the old Rona syndrome, but he beats Li Jingliang, and he gets right back in the gym, and he's doing 3 training sessions a day. And then you've got Paddy Pimblett, the Western epitome, you know what I mean? Wins a fight against Rodrigo Vargas. Time to become morbidly obese, he says. Like, it's a real difference in discipline that I really notice. And I hope that Chimaev is staying true to his core values that got him to where he is in the first place, because he is a very dangerous prospect. I do believe he's going to beat Gilbert Burns. I also believe Darren Till will likely win his next matchup. I think Uriah Hall just pulled out of a fight with Andre Muniz. I think that now opens up the opportunity for Darren Till versus Uriah Hall, and I do see him winning that one. I actually could see that fight being the most boring striking match of all time, where Darren Till just barely outlands Uriah Hall over 5 rounds and beats him that way. Or of course he could get like KO'd out of nowhere. That's what Uriah Hall can sometimes pull off. But I do believe that Darren Till would beat Uriah Hall next. I think that's the next matchup to happen for him, and I hope that's the next matchup that happens for him as well, because it's a real good one. I'm worried though, man. This whole situation worries me, but I love it. I love the Block Asset videos. I watch all of them. I'm just expressing some of my concerns that I've had. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover there. So let me know. I might make a video as well later this week, and I might call it something like other UFC fighters that need to form a duo. You know what I mean? So leave in the comments some duos that you'd like to see form with each other. And then maybe I'll break them down and put them into a video and make like a top 5 UFC fighters that need a certain partner that's also in the UFC. That probably won't be the title, because that will get 0 views because it's a terrible title. But something like other UFC fighters that need a dynamic duo. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. That could work as a title in my opinion. So let me know, because I like this whole concept of cross-training, you know? Going to train with other people, and them two going to train over with Sean Strickland. And I think it just breeds success. But I am worried, you know what I mean? Because I never saw Khamzat Chimaev drinking energy drinks before Darren Till came onto the scene, okay? I remember all of Chimaev's videos when he was fighting like Reece McKee and John Phillips and other poor UK people that had been fed to him as the wolf. But either way, once he was beating those guys, I noticed a nice little drink of water after the fights in the videos that I was witnessing. Now I'm seeing the Lucasades filter in. You know what I mean? Now I'm seeing the Monster Energy cans around the house that he's living at. And I'm thinking, that seems to be really a difference that I'm noticing. But either way, like and subscribe. Click that button up there. Toodle pip, I'll see you later. It was more of a random talking video, but I just wanted to give my opinion on the situation, because it's been great to watch them become a team, but I'm worried. I'm worried, okay? I'm worried. It won't be long before, like, let's say Chimaev loses to Burns, and he says, 9 out of 10 times I beat him, brother, but it wasn't my night, you know, no excuses for me, but 9 out of 10 times I beat him, it wasn't my night. And then all of a sudden he's sounding a bit more like, you know, mate, 9 out of 10 times I beat him, mate, and me daughter back in Chechnya, mate, she was getting on me fucking nerves, mate, I couldn't fucking train, mate, it's how it goes, mate, and no excuses, mate, but me daughter in Chechnya got fucking choke slammed by Kadyrov, mate, and I couldn't fucking do nothing about it, mate. So it's been on my mind, mate. You know what I mean? I'm worried that Till is ruining a good prospect from Chechnya named Boars. Toodle pip. See you later. Goodbye.